call it sadistic or masochistic or whatever. The documentarian in me needs to try to document all this. We're in a lovely, quiet, green spot and shady. We found shade. It's going on to, I think, 5:30 or a little later. And my magic doesn't know what to do. He usually would be looking to run. But I think he's so shaken up by the events of the day and so scared and freaked out that he doesn't know what to do. So that's okay. I'm not going anywhere, baby. I'm gonna get me a cigarette. I'll get me a cigarette and sit here with him and open my doors and let it breathe a little bit. We could stay right here. We don't have to go any farther. I am really exhausted. I bet nobody would bother us here. It's just a little bit off the road, but nicely off the road. And I would feel totally safe here. And it might be nice. So we'll see. I'm getting my Blue Magnolia drink. This is my classic drink, which is water, or preferably sparkling water. This is Topo Chico, which is quite the drink down here for sparkling water. And sugar and apple cider vinegar for some zip. And you can add alcohol, but I almost never do. I almost never drink alcohol. And it goes a lot better with a cigarette than the protein milk drink that I was drinking there. So I'm going to pull out my cigarettes. And this is, I'm sure, a level of detail that you're very excited about. So we are, what, 90 minutes post-bear, driving down the road, and it's been a very quiet and very beautiful stretch of mountainous road. I'll put the camera on the dashboard mount if we drive some more. The high mountains, not staggering, not Rockies, kind of sharp peaks sticking up, rolling mountains, but we're up real high, I bet. And I don't have the luxury of GPS, so mostly I don't know where I am. It said there was a town called Martin Torres or something ahead, which we just came through a tiny little town. And I asked the woman if there was un hotel en esta ciudad. And she looked at me like, right, yeah, sure, there's going to be a hotel here. There's not many travelers. Not many travelers. Not many travelers through this part of Mexico. If people go to Veracruz, they fly or take cruise ships. We just drove, I bet, a half an hour where I was driving, I bet, exceptionally slow for the local norms at 35 to 40. But it was a narrow road, twisty, decent shape. This road was not real bumpy, except for one stretch that was not improved. And they had a sign saying they were working on it. That guy just threw his beer can. Or maybe he threw something for the dog to fetch. I don't know. I don't want to assume. But quiet here. And we can take as long as this dog wants just to be quiet, sitting, trying to get our hands around what just went on for us. You know, it's not for no reason that they sell all those magazines at the checkout about what's going on in your dog's head. Don't we wonder? Don't we wonder? What's he making of all this? I'm guessing that one of the most salient things is that I left him. And I intended for him to catch up to me. But I also intended to send a message that it's not okay to not come. You have to get on board. You don't just sit there and watch me drive away, because I'm liable to go a mile, which I did that time. And by the time he caught up to me, he was right feet. Bear brought out a side of magic that had never been present, never defiant. and I bet it'll recede tremendously now. So I'm guessing that's the most salient, is he's freaked out from running scared for a mile, and running scared that maybe this time, because I've done it before. I've made him come catch up to me if he won't come, and that's a very new behavior, just the last couple of weeks. But this was far enough it may have genuinely scared him and really tested him physically. He hasn't stopped hyperventilating since, and hasn't drank water, hasn't shown any interest in water. So I will try to give him some love, but I think he's not knowing what to make of me right now. I'm guessing that on some, who knows? We just don't know what's going on in their minds. But I think on some level he's getting it that I cut the cord on Bear, that I let Bear go. I let it be his choice. You can walk to the car, or this time I'm not coming back. No way he understood all that. And driving down the road, of course I'm thinking, oh, what's it like for him? Poor baby. This is not going to be a good couple of days for him, or however many days he survives. It's not going to be good for him at all. He must be very upset. But I can't take responsibility for that. I did everything I could to rescue that dog from the street. And in the final analysis, he wasn't rescuable. You can take the dog off the street, but you can't take the street dog out. I don't think he ever had been owned or mastered or friended, partnered with a human. And much as he liked it, he also was not willing to not run his own show. He wanted to run his own show still. And it just wasn't working, especially with him being crippled and needing lots of care and lots of attention. I couldn't be carrying him to the car great distances because he wasn't willing to stand up. And he was physically able to. He just didn't see the point in it. So I cried an awful lot. There don't seem to be tears right now. I'm sure there will be more. But over the course of the 6 weeks or 2 months, about 2 months, we've known Bear, including 13 days at the mechanical compound. In the last month, there have been lots of times that in the last 2 weeks since his injury, there's been lots of times that I thought we were saying goodbye. I thought he was slipping away from all the trauma of his injuries. I thought he was giving up. I thought he was going to go off. I thought he had gone off in the woods to be by himself to die. And tonight, that last parting, he mostly didn't look at me. He looked away. He was looking away. I think on some level he was choosing his time. Who knows? I'm making up stories, of course, obviously. But he wouldn't look at me. And I didn't attempt to get in his face, I didn't try to make him look at me, because let's let him handle it his way. Now, 2 focus points are keeping ourselves intact, driving safely, preferably finding a motel for the night, but I'm starting to give up on that. And I bet it'll be pretty mosquito-y in here. But I might be tired enough to sleep anyway. And take care of this big boy. He's now the man. He's now my primary. And I tried to keep him that, but he sure suffered from all the attention I gave Bear, especially once he became a patient. So he's got me back. He hasn't chosen to take the shotgun seat back yet. He's been riding, standing behind the console, like he chose to do when Bear took over Bear just took over shotgun. Once he figured out how to make riding in the car work for him, it was by sitting or standing too often in the shotgun seat. And Magic, who would not let Bear push him around and wanted to be peer, but acquiesced to that one. Hey, buddy, I'm talking about you. I love you. I'm coming after you now, pal. All right. Bye from Veracruz State, Mexico.